My name is Ngoc. I'm 36 years old, living in Vietnam and working as an office employee. My life is pretty simple. I don't own a house. I don't drive an expensive car. Today is the end of the month. For many people, payday is something exciting, a reason to celebrate, a reason to relax. But for people like me, salary day is the day I sit down and calculate how to survive another month. This morning, I received my salary, 10 million Vietnamese dong, around $380. For someone living in a developed country, it might not sound like much money. But here in Vietnam, millions of workers are trying to build their lives with this amount every single month. The streets were already busy. People rushing to work. Street vendors opening their stores. Construction workers eating breakfast on tiny plastic chairs beside the road. This is normal life in Vietnam. I'm on my way to the bank to withdraw my salary in cash. Most low-income workers here still prefer using cash. It feels more real when you can actually hold the money in your hands. And honestly, when your salary disappears so quickly every month, you become very careful with every bill.
Chào mừng quý khách đến với dịch vụ ATM của Vietnamese. Mời quý khách nhập PIN của thẻ. Quý khách chú ý che bàn phím khi nhập PIN. Quý khách có cần lấy hóa đơn giao dịch không? Mời quý khách nhận tiền vào hóa đơn giao dịch. Chú ý ATM chưa trả thẻ cho quý khách. Quý khách muốn thực hiện giao dịch tiếp không? Nhấn tiếp mời quý khách nhập PIN của thẻ. Quý khách chú ý che bàn phím khi nhập PIN. Quý khách có cần lấy hóa đơn giao dịch không? Mời quý khách nhận tiền vào hóa đơn giao dịch. Chú ý ATM chưa trả thẻ cho quý khách.
After withdrawing the money, I headed to a nearby supermarket to buy some basic supplies. The supermarket was bright, clean, and full of food everywhere. Fresh meat. Imported fruits. Expensive snacks. Sometimes I walk around just to look at these things, even though I know I probably won't buy them. Today, I only bought instant noodles, milk, and some bread. Simple things, cheap things. Things that help me get through busy days when I'm too tired to cook. In Vietnam, supermarkets are becoming more modern now. But many people like me still prefer buying meat and vegetables at traditional markets. The food is cheaper, fresher, and somehow it feels more alive. You can hear people bargaining, laughing, arguing, real everyday life.
Đấy, chỉ có số chia đọc số viên mà. Chia đọc số viên
Đặt vô thì nó vừa đặt
0941.
787.
Sao mình nhét đâu nhỉ? Ở như đây. Có bao nhiêu nhỉ?
Còn 33.000 chị. Em tính em mọt mất không? Chị thấy hát đơn không?
Con này hot search rồi đấy.
Đây sữa này đúng không anh?
Ừ.
152.000 ạ.
After leaving the supermarket, I started feeling hungry. Instead of going to a restaurant, I stopped at a small sidewalk rice stall. Places like this are everywhere in Vietnam. Small plastic tables, metal trays full of different dishes, and most importantly, affordable food for workers. You can see delivery drivers, factory workers, security guards, construction workers, office employees. Others joke with the owner like old friends. This is where low and middle income people eat every day.
Không như tiết kiệm làm nha. Anh ơi cho chị một cái 15 15 với 5 canh là chị trăm tròn. Quay vào để lấy quay ra chị không với được. Rồi đủ ra tôi bán mà.
15 pin là nhiều tiền không nhỉ?
15 viên là 40.000 chị ạ.
Cái pin là đúng rồi.
Làm gì đúng không vậy? 2 cà với gì nấm nhờ chị.
Hôm nay ông ở nhà nấu cá đâu?
Ý là cà với viên thôi, cả 60 bác này. Móc vào tay em từ tiền sau. Là giá 30 ăn gì đó. Em 15 nữa không? 15 nữa là 15 đậu sốt hành cho em. 15 đậu sốt hành, 10 cà xào. 5.000 canh. Rồi 5.000 canh. Của bé 65 lấy tiền rồi. Em lấy đây đúng không? Ừ, lấy đi chưa? Ở nhà đây ăn gì cháu? 15.000 đậu này, 6 này, 11, 15 với 10 đậu sốt hành này, tầm 30 tịch thu luôn hết tiền. Cầm cho chị đấy này. Con trai này. Học cơm gì chị lấy luôn. Chuột này đúng không trai
I
ơi?
picked a very simple meal. One fried egg, 2 pieces of fish cake, a few slices of cucumber, and rice. The entire meal cost only 30,000 Vietnamese dong, just a little over $1. Cheap, but enough to keep me full for the afternoon. Honestly, meals like this are very common in Vietnam. Nothing fancy, no luxury, just enough energy to continue working. I drove back to my rented room. To save money, I live far away from the city centre. The rent is cheaper there, but it also means longer travel time every day. The roads became smaller and quieter as I got closer to my neighbourhood. Luxury apartments slowly disappeared. Instead, there were tiny rental rooms packed tightly together. This is where many workers, students, and low-income families live. And this is my room. It's old, very old. The plastic ceiling was damaged recently after a storm. Part of it even collapsed during heavy rain. I still haven't fully repaired it yet because fixing things costs money. Inside the room, there's only a few things. A fan, a small bed, a bathroom, and a toilet. That's all. The room costs me 1.5 million Vietnamese dong per month, around $60. For some people, this room may look uncomfortable, but for me, it's a place to sleep after long working days. And honestly, many workers in Vietnam live in conditions similar to this. After getting home, I sat down and started calculating my monthly expenses. This is probably the most stressful part of payday. 10 million sounds like a lot at first, but once you divide everything, the money disappears very quickly. First, I send $4 million back to my parents in my hometown. No matter how difficult life becomes, I still want to help them. In Vietnam, many adult children support their parents financially, especially if their parents are older farmers or no longer able to work hard. Then I keep $3 million for daily living expenses. Food, gasoline, electricity, unexpected expenses. And the remaining $3 million will be used for rent and repairing the damaged ceiling. When I finished calculating everything, I realized there was basically nothing left. No savings, no entertainment, no luxury, just survival. Sometimes people online think life in Vietnam is very cheap and easy. But for low-income workers, every month feels like balancing on a thin rope. One sickness, one accident, one broken motorbike, and everything can become difficult immediately. Still, I try my best to stay positive, because even though life is hard, Vietnam also has something beautiful. The food, the people, the small moments of peace, simple things. Bread, instant noodles, and milk will help me save on breakfast costs. I opened the boxed meal I bought earlier from the sidewalk food stall. The food had already become a little cold after the long ride home, but I didn't really mind. Simple white rice, 1 fried egg, 2 pieces of fish cake, and a few slices of cucumber. Nothing special, but after a long morning outside, it was enough to make me feel full and comfortable. As I ate, I kept thinking about work, bills, and the next month ahead. Sometimes life feels repetitive. Work, eat, sleep, and then do everything again tomorrow. But this is the reality for many low-income workers in Vietnam. After finishing my meal and cleaning up a little, I lay down on my bed. The fan kept spinning slowly above me. Outside, I could still hear motorbikes and people talking somewhere in the alley. I closed my eyes for a short nap. Only about 30 minutes. Because at 2 p.m., I have to return to work again. This is the daily life of millions of ordinary workers in Vietnam. Not rich, not glamorous, not easy, but real.